What's going on, guys? Adam Snyder here with Home and Entrepreneur, and in today's video I want to explain how much money you need to start Amazon FBA. Now, if you're thinking about getting into retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, even wholesale, this isn't the video that's going to cover those costs. In this video, I want to specifically go over getting into private label. That means taking a product, a generic product, putting your label on it, selling it on Amazon. Okay, that's the very basic understanding of private label, but I want to go into it a little bit deeper because most people just think the only cost that they will incur is the product itself, and that's completely not true. So I'm going to jump over to my computer. I'm going to show you right now exactly how much money you need to get started on Amazon FBA selling private label products. So before I jump into my computer and show you how much money you need to get started selling private label products on Amazon FBA, I first just want to show you this is my Amazon FBA private label course. You can get it over on Teachable. It's $399 and it does have a 30-day money back guarantee. Okay, I talked about the refund policy right there. And this course, I think there's like 5.5, 6 hours worth of content. So within 6, 7 hours, you should be able to understand exactly what you're doing. I point you in the right direction on every single step. So it makes it very easy. Okay. You can go over to, and the whole thing will be in the description box below. You can go check out this link and it will take you through everything and show you exactly what you're getting. Okay. So you can see all the modules, all the videos. I'm adding videos every week. So just be aware that this thing is updated all the time. And if you have any questions, all you got to do is send me an email. Let me know what your question is or what your hurdle is, and I will help you get over that. So without further ado, let's jump into the video right now. So how much money do I need to start Amazon FBA? Let's jump into that. So first, you need to understand that all the prices are going to vary. Okay. Now I want to explain why all prices will vary. The first reason why all prices could vary is because different products could be bigger, they could be smaller. Maybe you're ordering a larger quantity of products. So with a larger quantity, the shipping costs usually are more. The product costs are usually smaller, but the shipping costs are usually a little bit higher. How far away will the products be shipped from? Are they coming from China? Are they coming from Mexico? Maybe from Taiwan or India, or maybe they're coming locally from the United States or even Canada. If that's the case, your prices will vary. How detailed is your logo? Sometimes a logo can cost, a couple $100. I've seen logos that people want to charge up to $1,000 for. And it really just depends on how detailed it is, how many variations you have. Maybe it's going to be all black lettering, but what happens if you put that logo on a black product or a black, maybe like it's called a hooker tag that you hook it up to, a little thing that you see at a wall. Anyway, you get the idea. So it really depends. If you want to be extremely detailed, you want to have different colors, you want to have different variations, then it's going to cost you more. Or you can just get, a cheaper logo, maybe $5, $10, and you'll be good to go. Do you need an inspection company? Now, when I ship most of my inventory here to the United States, I'm shipping it all by air. The reason for that is because I want it now. I don't want to wait a month or two to get my inventory. So I almost never use an inspection company. I have used them before, but as long as you do your due diligence, you should be perfectly fine. And also, some products require more advertising. That's one of the reasons why prices will vary. It'll be a big difference, especially if you get into a product that has too much competition. And this is all stuff I talk about inside my course, and I'll explain that in a little bit. But you need to understand, if you have a product that has a lot of competition and requires more advertising, your price will go up for that particular product. Now, it's not going up from the seller themselves. It's just on your end, you will have to spend more money. So how much will things cost? This is what you're here for. So let's dive into that. First, we have the product itself. Now, I just want to be extremely clear on this. I have purchased products that I purchased the initial order for right about $100 to $150, and that included shipping. Okay, so I'm not saying $500 is the minimum. I'm not saying $1,500 is the minimum, but for your very first product, I'd recommend you stick anywhere between $500 and $1,500. Okay, now this does not include shipping. This is just the product itself. Some companies, some manufacturers will include shipping in the price. I usually always have them break it down. How much is the product? How much is shipping? If I think the shipping is too high, or maybe the product cost is too high and the shipping is right where it needs to be, that's perfectly fine. But I can always go back to them and say, hey, I understand the shipping, that's perfectly fine, but your product cost, I can get it cheaper by maybe 10 cents, 25 cents per unit from somebody else. So you can kind of play that card and get a better deal. Shipping. From my experience, shipping is normally 2/5 of the cost of the product. Now, this does not mean this is the ultimate rule. This is exactly what it's going to be, is 2/5. That's not the case, okay? What I want you to understand is when I say 2/5, so 40%, what I want you to keep in mind is that the majority of the products that I ever buy and sell on Amazon, they're small, they're lightweight, they're things that they're pretty much the size of like my hand, okay? So they're small, lightweight, they shouldn't cost a lot. So that is why shipping for me is usually right about 40%, okay? And that's shipping through air, not by sea. The product sample itself. And this is one of the things I talk about, one of the reasons why I don't use an inspection company that often, or hardly ever now, is because I always get my product sample, and they will be between $40 to $100 a piece. So you need to make sure that your product, you want to make sure that you are being very specific on what you want, very specific on exactly what you want it to look like, because if you don't do that, your product, you could get one sample, you don't like it, you have to get the next one and the next one. You could be 4 or 5 samples in before you actually okay the actual design, the logo, and everything. And you can see right here the logo design, maybe anywhere from $10 to $50. Like I said, the more detailed your logo is, the more variations you have, the more expensive it's going to be. For your first private label product, I'd recommend you even go to Fiverr.com and get a logo done there, because honestly, for your very first logo, it doesn't have to be the most detailed, the most unique, the best logo. Just have a logo so that it's unique to you, okay? So let's jump into a few more costs. Now, there are things that you might not see, okay? There's other unseen costs that you probably aren't aware of just yet. What are they? The first one, and the one that you probably can't live without, is research software. I like to use Jungle Scout, and so that's why I highly recommend the Jungle Scout Chrome extension. And the links to Jungle Scout will be in the description box below, so you can go check it out. But the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, it's a one-time fee, it's $97, and it's something honestly I could not live without. The next piece of software is the Jungle Scout web app. It's $39.99 a month, and honestly, that is one you could do without, but I'd recommend you have them both. If you could only afford one, the Jungle Scout Chrome extension is going to be the one you need, okay? That's the one you need. The other one is helpful, but it's not necessary. Okay, now I know, why am I telling you about the most expensive one is the one you need? Honestly, because it is. And I think Jungle Scout realized that. That's why it's the most expensive. The next thing you need an Amazon professional account. That's $39.99 a month. Now, when I say this is something you need, I think you absolutely need this, because you don't want to go and pay the fee per item that you sell by having just a basic account. And the nice thing, or one of the reasons why you need the Amazon professional account, is because that lets you actually publish, or not publish, but promote your product. So you can actually use Amazon promotion, use pay-per-click, and that's something that will help you get those sales initially. Okay, so that's a cost that you need as well. And another thing, you probably don't realize this, but you will need a barcode, a UPC barcode. Specifically, Amazon wants a GS1 barcode. I don't use those. Now, the difference between GS1, what that means is you pretty much have a barcode that is directly tied to your company. So nobody else can take that barcode. And the reason for that is because Amazon wants to pretty much set themselves up like an online retailer, or like a local retail store would, that if this UPC code comes in, this means it is that product. And a lot of people don't do that on Amazon. Honestly, I don't do that on Amazon. Amazon has never said anything to me, but for just a basic simple UPC barcode, you're looking at anywhere from like $10 to $15 for one. Okay, all you need is one to start. The next cost, and maybe you have not done any research on this, but there are prep and ship companies out there, and I highly recommend these, especially if you want to make this business passive. What you do is you send all your inventory to these companies, they prep it for you, and they ship it to Amazon. And in most cases, you're paying anywhere between 60 cents and $1.75 per unit. So if you order 500 units of a product, and they prep and ship every single one of those, let's say they're doing it at $1 a piece, your cost is going to be $500. And you need to make sure that you have that written down, you have that known, so that it's not an unknown cost or you are not operating at a loss at the end. Now, like we talked about, there's still advertising, but what does advertising cost? Now, this is where this video is going to get a little, well, there's not going to be a whole lot of information I'm going to give you right now, so let's just bear with me while I explain it. So let's say there's giveaways and discounts. The cost is going to be unknown because it's going to vary by reviews and the product itself. For example, let's say I had a camera product, okay? So, well, okay, I do have a camera product anyway, but I have this camera product that the reviews for my competition, for me to get on the first page of Amazon, I need roughly 60 reviews. Okay, so it's not the least competitive, it's not the most competitive, but I need about 60 reviews. What this means, if I can get a review for every 4 products that I give away or discount, by when I say discount, I mean deeply discount, where I'm actually operating at a loss for these. If I had to do that and I get 25% of my sales, those people actually give me a review, and a good review, that would mean I need to give away about 240 products at a discount in order to get up there. So what was the cost going to be to give away or discount those 240 products? That's something that right now we don't know, because it varies by the amount of reviews you have to get on the first page and the product itself. Amazon pay-per-click. This is different than giveaways and discounts. One of the things that I talk about inside my course is how I use a service. It's actually from Jungle Scout and the team over there. It's called Jump Send. And that's how I do giveaways and discounted products. But with Amazon pay-per-click, it's completely different. And the unknown here is it really varies by the competition. For example, if I was trying to compete against, let's say, wool winter socks or women's wool socks or something like that, that cost is going to be completely different than if I was trying to compete for the keyword Amazon Echo or men's Nike shoes or something like that, or Ultra Boost, or hopefully you get the idea and get the picture. But that's how it varies. Okay, so it really depends on how much competition, the amount of reviews, the product itself, the category you're in, and even the time of year of when you're going to advertise. So that's, like I said, bear with me on this slide because I'm not going to answer a lot of your questions because there's so many unknowns. Now, what are the final costs? Now, I already walked through a lot of the stuff for you, walked through a lot of the numbers, but let's break it down. Okay, so if you weren't writing down all those numbers, don't worry about it. I'm going to put them down right now. So, the final cost, the sample itself, like I said, the sample, you're going to be spending anywhere from like $40 to $100. Now, if you have multiple samples, it's going to cost you more money. If you get a product and you don't like it and you want a revision done, it's going to cost you more money. It's going to be another sample. And usually I'm paying about $50 per sample. Here's a tip, okay? Here's a kind of expert tip I have for you. If you do not put your logo on the sample and then you okay the entire order and you pay for part of it and your logo is messed up when you get it in the end, that's on you. You need to make sure your sample is 100% correct. You need to make sure they know, okay, this is exactly how I want it. So sometimes that's not your first sample. In most cases it can be, but this is where I recommend you use something called Skype. Okay, so you can actually do a video call, a conference call with the manufacturer so they know what you want and you know the way the product looks before they ship it to you. Okay, so instead of being out $50, maybe you're out $5. No big deal about $5 because I'd pay $5 all day long in order to save me hundreds or thousands of dollars on a messed up order. The logo, like I said, $10. Go get it on Fiverr. Fiverr.com. Make a logo yourself if you understand how to use, Photoshop, or you're good with design. But it doesn't have to be the most sophisticated logo. Just something that sets your product apart from everybody else's. The UPC, $10. An Amazon Pro account, $40. Jungle Scout Chrome extension, $100. I'm gonna round up. It's $97, but you understand. Jungle Scout web app, $40. Now, the web app and the Pro account are both monthly subscriptions, but you can cancel the web app at any time. If you decide you have enough products, you've done enough research, you have the web app, you have everything you need, but you don't need it for the next month or two, cancel it and get it back when you want it. The products themselves. Like I said, I spend about 40% on shipping. So with all those costs added up, okay, so far without the products themselves, we're looking about $250. Okay, now when you add in the products, $750, you add in shipping, okay, 40% of $750 is about $300, or it is $300, and then you add in some advertising. I recommend keeping or setting aside a little bit of a budget for advertising, so $150 there. The total for this is going to be $1,450. Okay, so this is how much money you are invested into your first private label product. Now, this does not include additional samples. This does not include maybe it takes you 2 months of using the Jungle Scout web app and the Amazon Pro account. So now instead of $40, you're additional $80. You need to understand that that doesn't include that. Maybe the products don't cost $750. Maybe they cost $800 or $400 or $500. There are variations here, okay? So just understand, these are just the numbers broken down. I'm just trying to give you as much information as I can. But like I said, if you have any questions, go take my course or send me a message, okay? You can always send me a message through Facebook. You can send me a message over at my email address. You can comment below on this video. There are so many ways to get a hold of me, okay? So either do that, go take my course. It is $399, but that $399, if you take the course, I promise you that's going to be $399 well spent. In most cases, that $399 that you spend on the course is going to save you way more money than that, because I'm going to show you advertising. I'm going to show you how to get the sample product. I'm going to talk to you about logos, dealing with Amazon, how to get the the Chrome extension, the web app, how to use them, all that stuff. So $399 is pretty much just a drop in the hat. It's barely anything in the grand scheme of things. So again, if you have any questions, let me know what your questions are. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you like this video and you were taught something on this video that you didn't already know. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys on the next video.